Hello and welcome, my barn animal riders. It's SJB here, and I've got two things to talk about today. A, the strategy and the plan for today's video, which is quite simple. We are going to be using a very limited space to beat this Chimps game. And the reason why we're doing this is because they're coming out with a new map in the new upcoming update, and the major issue with it is lack of space. So can we use very limited space in this game, just a small little-ish circle right around here to try to beat this? And I think easily. I think we can do this with just a couple towers, believe it or not. I'm going to use a tack shooter, and I'm going to use a cannon. And we're going to buff them a little bit. And I think those buffs could be changed around or adapted or whatever if we can't fit a village or can't fit an elk or can't fit a tower specifically. But overall, that is the basic plan. Use a tack shooter, use a cannon, beat the game. I know, it sounds so simple when you put it like that. And then the second thing I want to talk about today is my issues. So if that is going to upset you, you don't have to watch. Just stop listening. It's okay. You know, not everybody wants to listen to other people's issues, but I just want to talk to you guys. And I want to say before we even get started here that I appreciate all of the advice that everybody gives me. Okay, but I cannot always take everybody's advice. And I do try to read it as much as I possibly can, but this is one of those things where I usually read the comments ever after about 24 hours or so. I don't usually come back a week later and read through all the comments at that point. So if you do want to help, feel free. You can feel free to leave a comment. But I do need to see doctors about my issues, medical professionals. And, you know, I know not all of you guys are doctors out there, of course. And I need to see some medical professionals and get real, actual, hopefully, medical help. Even though, I'll be honest, so far my medical help has been detrimental to everything that I've been doing, and I almost have PTSD from seeing doctors at this point, but I'm still going to give it the shot because that is the correct thing that I should be doing. But any which way, let's go over the strategy for a little bit before we jump into this. And what I want to do is I'm going to do a cannon strategy. So this is where we're going to put the cannon. I'm going to put it here very specifically, which seems almost like a goofy spot. But I'm doing this for a reason. I want to put it far enough away from my tack shooter so that my cannon, when he's stunning the balloons, and maybe I even should have put it further away. But so when he's stunning the balloons, hopefully we're stunning in the range of the tack shooter, and that will make us overall, hopefully, more powerful. And I'm going to go for really big bombs. I'm going to go for faster reload because you guys know where we're going with this. We're stuck on our cross paths at this point. We got two third tiers. We're going for the tack zone and the balloon crush. And those two guys are kind of a weird combo, but they should be an OP combo because the tack zone is the Papa and this guy is the stunner. And when you got a Papa and a stunner together, you got all the things you need, all wrapped up into a delicious, tiny little bundle here. All right, let's talk about Chris's crappy life for a little bit while we're planning this out. So I just want to give you guys like a quick recap about my issues here, just in case you kind of forgot. I will say that I haven't made a video about 3 days because I've been dealing with some stuff, and I'm sorry about that. I hate missing a day of videos. One, because I don't like letting you guys down if somebody's looking forward to a video. B, because it costs me, unfortunately, money. This is my living. This is what I do for a living. It's like I just take the day off of my job, and I don't have PTO. I don't have paid time off. This is me. If I don't do my job, I don't get paid. So, and that's most people's life. Yeah, I get it. But when you're dealing with so many issues, it gets crazy, and I feel so bad for other people that have to deal with this. But any which way, quick recap here is that back in April, I had some crazy crap happen. I ended up with this thing called visual snow syndrome. Now, visual snow syndrome is, it's a very bad name for this disease, by the way, or whatever you want to call it. Syndrome, I guess syndrome is a thing wrong with you where there's not really a direct cause, but it has a bunch of different associative symptoms, basically. So, visual snow syndrome, there is no known direct cause for it. Nobody knows what causes it. There are a lot of reasons why people get visual snow syndrome. Oh, crap. I used that too early, didn't I? Still gonna be good? Woo, we're good. All right, let's make sure we got the village. Yeah, let's elk first. Let's do elk here. I'm gonna go for the 4-2 elk. I think, honestly, Soda can probably take down round 42 camo balloons by herself. Usually I don't like to do that, but I think we're going to be alright. I'm just going to villagify everybody. I think this is a good enough spot. This is going to be the majority of everything that we do today. Right here. Alright, Soda, let's see if you can do it. Okay, camo balloons. Let's just jump on them. Perfect timing. Look at that. Beauty. I'm going to make sure we get the radar scanner so we don't have to worry about it ever again. So we don't have to micro through that. I probably should have just got that instead of the elk, but I wanted to position it like this, so made it easier for us in the long run. And go for that jungle drums. And then, believe it or not, I think I'm going to save up straight for a tack zone, and then honestly save up straight for a balloon crush. I think that's it. That's everything. We figured it out. We planned it all out. And now the question is, with this tiny little base space right here, is this enough to get us through around 99 at the very least? Not necessarily around 100. But 99 at the very least. And I hope so. So, anyways, I have this thing called visual snow syndrome, which I hate the name for it because it's the idea is that you're just like, okay, well, what is that? Well, the main symptom, and I hate to say it like that, is that people say it as the main symptom, but it's not the actual worst of the symptoms. It's actually the least worst of the symptoms in general. But it is a very deciding factor on whether or not you have it because you see static over everything. It's very hard to explain what that is, but like imagine if you could see the large pixels on a very low res monitor, but everywhere. But instead of just being like, okay, you can see them, they are flashing in and out of existence all over the place, all the time. It's just, it's just almost a little overwhelming, I guess. But that's actually not the worst of the symptoms. There's a lot of them. There's like probably close to 20 or 30 different symptoms, but the main ones that are really bad are the photophobia or light sensitivity. That one is pretty awful. Just imagine, I don't want to go into imagining, but tinnitus is really, really bad. That one's actually one of the worst as well. After images are absolutely horrible. I hate the after images. This is extremely hard to explain because I'm sure everybody has looked at a light and seen the light live on in their images after they have looked away. Whatever Visual Snow does, it makes that but on steroids. But on top of that, it's not just lit up objects, because everything is technically like light coming into your eyes. Even if you look at an inanimate object, a plate or a bowl or a light, or not a light, I'm looking at my Elgato lights, a wall or curtains or whatever, all those things are still lit up because the light is bouncing off of them and then bouncing into your eyes. All of that, though, I get after images for. All of it. Crazy and absurd after images. So, for long periods of time, I mean, I look at an inanimate object and I'll see after images for 10 plus seconds of that object, and it's very disorienting. The last symptom that I want to talk about, which again there's a lot of, is looking at the sky. So when I look at the sky, I see, you know how if you get hit in the head, you see stars? I see that. I see about 1,000 plus stars just in my vision when I look at the sky, just floating all around and all this stuff. Of course, photophobia is still there as well, so that's super sensitive to look at the sky. But when I can look at the sky, even on cloudy days, you see these just millions of lights bouncing around all over the place. And, oh, I never got the tack zone. Boom, let's get tack zone, let's get balloon impact. We survived, by the way, past round 60 without a tack zone, which is kind of absurd. We're able to save like $9,000 extra. And then boom, it's now time to save out for a balloon crush. That's it. And I also put my elk down here so we can elk the cannon as well as the tack shooter here. So, looking good for us. On top of those stars, though, you also see all of the floaters that you have. So, I'm sure all of us have had floaters at some point in our lives. They're the weird little black swirly things. I have about 30 to 40 of them in my vision. And there's 2 of them that are really bad and big. So I've got like, they're so big that they actually leave a little blind spot in my vision sometimes. It's like a little bit confusing to look at because my brain kind of tries to like filter it out almost, but it makes it like a blind spot. It's really goofy, but it is what it is. And the weirdest thing about Visual Snow is that for a long time, I'm like, I could beat this. I could beat it. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with me. I'm going to beat this thing into the ground. I'm going to figure it out, and I am going to solve it. I've always gotten through every single thing that I've ever gotten through, ever. Anytime I've gone through a rough time in my life, I get through it. And you know what? Not only do I get through it, I actually become a better person because of it. I don't want to go through that thing in the first place, but because I've had to deal with that, I become a better person. And it's obviously it feels better afterwards, you know, almost. But any which way, I was like, I'm going to beat it. I can figure this out. I can solve this problem. And unfortunately, I could not. I mean, it's still reasonably young in my life. I've only had it for 8 months or so. But at this point, I have come to accept the visuals now. Where I hope that either I will just have it go away someday, or maybe, and this is a lifetime gig, by the way, guys. It'll just go away someday, or maybe they'll come up with some sort of solution medically that'll make it go away. That would be oh so deliciously amazing and life-altering in so many ways. My life would be so much better. But I'm not banking on that. I am like, I have accepted that part of my life. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with something else. Something that is really weird, which I will talk about when we get to round like 78 or something. A big chunk of BFBs here on round 77. How are we going to do? This is going to show off our power for round 80. Not too bad. I'm not upset with that. I think we could probably power through round 80 because we need another 20 grand to get a Bloom Crush. 78 though. Let's see how we're going to do. Big chunks of ceramics. Oh, delicious. Don't forget, everybody's got cam detection. So that should be the exact same thing for the first rush and the second rush. And I still have not bought my primary training or mentoring. So 20k, man. I think we can make it happen. So, anyways, I don't remember exactly where I was at in my story, but I will say that when I made my video 2 weeks ago, the cool thing is that mostly everything was getting better. I usually only make videos on positive things, or try to make things on positive things. And even though that was a video about negativity, about negative things, at the very least, it was still about me possibly getting better. Right after that, huge turn for the worse. Don't know why, but my ears have been absolutely getting ridiculous lately. So I was telling you guys that I took a drug called a beta blocker, and basically after this drug I got these huge adrenaline rushes, and those adrenaline rushes led me to have this migraine, and that migraine, this vestibular migraine, by the way, caused my ears to have these weird issues where I start clicking and all this stuff, and when I say all this stuff, I mean clicking, ringing in my ears, weird ear pressures, hardcore ear pressures, and those hardcore ear pressures lead to direct anxiety. I don't know how else to explain this to somebody that does not experience them, but it's like ridiculous. It's like direct, increased, primal fear that your brain is like, your ear is messed up, fix it right now, somehow you need to make this go away. And I'm just like, I can't though, bro. I can't make it go away. I'm trying to pop my ears and they don't pop anymore. So it has led me to have issues with just going on regular car rides. If I have to go on like the highway, if I have to go up a hill or down a hill, oh boy, my ears just basically just get freaking screwed, man. And extreme pressures and pains and all this other stuff. But by the way, Bloom Crush! We just officially got it. So this is the basic idea. Bloom Crush, Tack Zone combo. Can we make it happen and make ourselves pop everything? I hope so. I think so. Let's see how good this goes. If we need to, I will probably end up building something else that pops some Moabs here just to make sure that they don't get stuck here forever, because that was one thing that I was worried about, is that they get stuck here forever. Specifically, if I buy primary training and mentoring, this might actually give this guy more range and make my Tack Zone actually less effective against these guys as I want them to be, you know? But I've been having these weird, crazy ear pressures and everything, and all these weird ear pains. It has also led to, oddly enough, weird nerve pressures and pains in my face, kind of across near my forehead, by my the bridge of my nose, and kind of around my eyes, just in general, just like pressures. And it's all really goofy. It's really, really terrible. But what happened just today, past 3 days have been really, really rough. The pressures have been like absolutely insane. What happened just today is after I got back from my walk, I took off my headphones that I've been wearing. I've got these noise-canceling headphones. And right after that, when I took them off, my ears started having the craziest pressures. And I started having these really weird, really weird burst tinnituses. Just crazy intense tinnitus, so loud that it drowns out everything else that you're trying to hear. Just like intense. I'm sure people have had those before, but they usually don't come on that often. For me, they happened multiple times just today. And then right afterwards, now I'm hearing things weird. Like, everything is clunky and clangy. Or clangier than it should be. It's like, well, just, you know, we'll have Chris just suck at life here for a little bit. Oh no, the tack zone. He's just popping, but it's very, very little. All right, we'll be back in a few rounds. Oh no, I made it worse. So, this is the dilemma with this strategy. It can make your game that normally takes about 30 minutes to beat chimps probably last 45 plus minutes. It's not as bad against the Moab class balloons, but against higher tier balloons, reinforced BFBs, and oh my gods, and reinforced oh my gods, it gets absurd. You can get infinite stunnage from this guy, but he doesn't do that much damage. So watch round 87 here. Oh my god, that was absurd. That was absurd. That was crazy. So I don't want to deal with that anymore. So we're gonna do something about that. I'm gonna go for a tower that is going to deal with these Moabs a little better. We're going to be going for a Spike Storm with bigger stacks. I might get White Hot Spikes eventually as well. The whole point of this is to pop Moabs. That's all I wanted to do. Pop Moabs. I can use the ability here as well. Maybe I should have put it up here. Cannon is exploding them pretty back. Maybe if I do another one, maybe I'll do that. But this should make it happen a lot quicker. Specifically if there's something like a oh my god just getting sent back infinite times over and over again, rather than something that's getting balloons getting in the way, which are actually absorbing some of my spikes here, which is kind of sad. Plus, I think you're actually limited on abilities for some of these things. We might actually get stuck with not being able to use as many abilities as we want to. No. So, it's one of those strategies where, yes, it can be done, but it is also quite boring. So at this point, you might be thinking, oh crap, Chris, you don't have Tack Shooter doesn't have lead popping power. This guy doesn't have lead popping power. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do against DDTs? And it's like, oh, Bloom Crush, bro. Bloom Crush. It's that good. I mean, DDTs don't have that much health. I mean, you have infinite stunnage. They can't sneak it through. There's some weirder rounds, like just, can you get overwhelmed with crap tons of reinforced Moabs? Seemingly the answer is probably not still. It's weird that the explosions are like hitting over here and still somehow stunning oh my gods all the way up here though. I don't really get it. It doesn't feel like that should be the length of our reach there, but you know what? It is what it is, I suppose. So it's still a time thing though. Once you get to this point in the game, it just gets boring. Moving up in the world, DDTs this time around. If there is going to be an overwhelm, now would be the time. Now would be the time the Bloom Crush finally could not handle it. But with faster firing, all these upgrades, man, I mean, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. It's too easy. All right, let's jump. Let's ability and just knock them all down. Ooh, we actually are getting overwhelmed. Ooh, we actually are getting overwhelmed. Oh, man. All right, so we do have to be a smidge careful. And when you get that many Moabs and or DDTs on the screen, if you pop them all too quickly, the balloons will overwhelm you and means you cannot stall the Moabs indefinitely. I'm actually kind of curious how this is going to go down for around 98, and whether or not we should try to take this slow or just kind of blow our loads again. Oh yeah, look at this. We are getting overwhelmed again. Ooh, dang, girl. All right, with Soda, is that going to save the day here? And it looks like it is. Now, I have a lot of money left over. I should mention that. I do have $37,000. And I am doing that thing where I probably should not be using these abilities, but I'm just using them anyways. Specifically the Soda ability here. That seems to be doing a lot of damage. Kind of like overwhelming amounts of damage here. But eventually they do go down. But 98 actually could be a little tricky here. In case you're wondering if you get ability limited ever, this is my 6th available ability for this Spike Storm. And that's kind of absurd. It's kind of crazy. But we got round 98 coming up in here, and I want to have all of my abilities ready. I also have $42,000, which, to be honest, I think Carpet Spikes is probably our most optimal choice to use, but it doesn't need to be that. I'm going to go for my early abilities here again. Let's see if this is going to go down, because we have reinforced BFBs this time, and a bunch of regular oh my gods, though. So, Soda has reached level 17. Doesn't really matter too much, to be honest. I think it's just going to do what it does. So far, 98's going down really, really easy. Kind of slowly easy, though. I will jump anyways. See, hopefully we don't get overwhelmed here. Looks pretty good. I'm going to save her sword charge, just in case poop does actually hit the fan here. All right, we jump up, and we get nothing. Nothing happening. It's too slow. Well, it's goodly slow. All right, and eventually, I think 98 will just eventually melt. So let's say we were playing on an expert map. We would have $51,000 left over at this point. That's a lot of room to do a lot of things. But I'll be honest, I don't think round 99 is going to be an issue if we can pop round 98. I think we're good against round 99 here. The question is, though, round 100. What do you do against that puppy? So also, Tack Zone does not pop DDTs at all. It's all up to literally the Bloom Crush. And I don't even think Soda pops leads right now, so it's literally Bloom Crush doing all of that. Unfortunately, round 100 is likely to be too much for us because the Bloom Crush does not do that much damage, and it cannot stun a bad. He's trying to do as much as he can, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Unless we... Oh, wait! Is it going to be enough? With $55,000 left over? Oh my god, we just keep sending them backwards. It's almost funny to watch that. Alright, let's do it. Let's just send them all back. Let's take them down. That's actually kind of impressive. Tack Zone did a lot of damage there. Alright. Whoa! I was expecting 1.5 million plus pops here with our Tack Zone, but that is not what happened. Everybody kind of did a lot. 450, 670, 629, and nearly 200,000 for our Spike Storm. Very interesting results from today, but it does show you, even in a tiny little bundle here, with $56,000 left over, you can make some crazy crap happen, folks.